Welcome to the channel, and these are some of the top stories making headlines today. Now clearly what has been hidden in the dark is slowly being revealed in the light, and if you want to justice for Donna Donaldson and her family, drop a like on the video and of course drop your comment in the comment section. Now the case just get even more serious. It is being alleged that one of the other reasons why law enforcement is looking so deep into this case is that it is also linked to multiple bodies. It is said that an officer who lost his life had his life taken in St. Catherine was an officer investigating the main suspect in the Donna Donaldson case. Remember, when you walk on, they will contain the reasoning. Look and listen.
So you're saying that the 5 other officers, you believe that you know for a fact they'll be going down?
Sure, trust me, the day is going to come. And this is Jermaine that they killed innocently.
You're saying Constable Jermaine? What happened to Constable Jermaine?
That they killed in Spanish Town. He knew everything because he and one of our other co-workers was doing the investigation, and Jermaine decided that Noel had to go down because he had a little sister. And when Noel found out that Jermaine was on his face, he said, you have to go. That is why he sent and white Jermaine out in Spanish Town. Jermaine is a humble, loving, hard-working officer. I can tell you because I've worked with him before. Let me tell you something. Cassian strangled Donaldson. That's what the word that he came and speak to his friend. Blood was there, because I don't know what else they did to her, but they had their normal altercation, and she strangled Donaldson, not knowing that Donaldson was there. And she called Noel right after, and Noel came to the apartment, and he called his cronies, and they all take the one beautiful child and dump her like an animal. Let me tell you something.
So you're saying that Constable Jermaine in Spanish Town was the one on the investigation?
He was one of them who was assigned
to the investigation.
Investigation to see and to check out things about him. But when he realized that he was on his case and he was getting evidence, you see, if these police wasn't so far, Jermaine had pictures of Noel and stuff that he was disposing that belonged to Donaldson in his car, and they killed him and they removed them. My brother, I'm following you and I'm listening to the people talking about Officer Brown. Well, let me tell you something, you all are going to live to see that I was no joke.
Wow. So here Officer Brown is saying Jamaica, Constable Brown, the genie, is saying that Constable Jermaine that was killed, the allegation is that the constable that was killed in Spanish Town it is believed, it is alleged that Constable Jermaine was a part of the investigation, and Constable Jermaine was getting deeper into the investigation, and the allegations placed before us. Wow. Wow, Jamaica. Wow, Jamaica. I believe Constable Jermaine was killed about the 13th or about the 14th. Go on, Wayne. Look at when the police in Spanish Town was killed. Yes.
Nation, it just gets serious. And even if the main suspect had friends in law enforcement, if this is indeed the case, and they are now looking into the matter saying that to cover up the situation. Another member of law enforcement life was taken. It way beyond friend company and who you know from training school. No. Now the people want justice and the state want justice. And despite how the situation might appear sometimes in numerous instances and numerous cases, whenever members of law enforcement are caught in criminal activity, the force itself is disgraced, and as such will do its best to prove to the public that those caught in criminal activity have been captured, arrested, charged, and prosecuted. Now on to the other stories making headlines today. Now also making headlines today, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has confirmed that 2 out of the 3 officers have been charged with murder following the shooting death in Kingston of a resident of Kingston called Philip Wallace. Now it is said that charged is Corporal Miguel Ebanks and Constable Purcell Carter, 2 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Now Corporal Ebanks and Constable Carter were each charged with the following offenses: murder, shooting with intent as the man's life was taken, making use of a firearm to commit a felony. Ebanks, however, was also further charged with 2 counts of committing an act of corruption. Corporal Ebanks and Corporal Carter will remain in police custody until the next mentioned date in court. Now, nation, these type of situations are always whispered about in the inner city, but never documented to this level. I'm going to point this out. Mr. Wallace, before his life was taken, made a report. Yes, he made a report against, I think it was all 3, but he made a report against some of these officers. And that is how law enforcement was made aware that this individual and these specific members of law enforcement had some issue taking place. He made a report that money was being requested. The details of why the money was being requested from Wallace was unknown. But based on what took place, when the request was denied, his life was taken. Now, 3 officers in total were arrested. They are saying so far 2 have been charged. 1 was off the island, returned recently, either to surrender, turn himself in, or did not know that he was being sought for the matter. However, upon returning on the island, arrested nonetheless. The other 2 were already behind the bars, and maybe their evidence was processed and no charge were brought against them. The 3rd has never been named. And comment section of my nation, tell me how you feel about this. Now on to the other stories making headlines today. Now, nation, another officer is also being sought over the disappearance of money in a robbery case. A detective constable is under investigation in connection with the disappearance of 800,000, which was evidence in a case of robbery before the Hanover Parish Court. Law enforcement sources have disclosed. The robbery case ended with a guilty plea, but the constable, who was the investigating officer, failed to hand over the cash so that it could be returned to the victims of the robbery. According to sources, the allegations came to attention of the police brass after the judge who presided over the robbery case wrote to them seeking their intervention to have the money produced in court so that the individuals who owned the money could get it back. May I wonder if this constable did not know the law. If he made feel like, say, since the individual was caught and arrested, pled guilty, if him feel like the money would just stay locked in evidence or be given to the state, he never knows that the owner of the property I can get back them property after it is already are finished being used as evidence. I feel them. And these type of petty actions, 800,000 is a few months time salary. It now go give him enough money so him can go retire. And the fact that the JSF is saying that he's being sought is just a polite way of stating that they have made attempts to contact this individual. And it seems as if attempts have been futile. Probably already change him number and fly out. Because obviously past the amount of time where people that normally wait to get it back. Seeing that obviously the people return to the court and ask the judge what go on. And the judge had to write to law enforcement to say the funds should be presented in court so the people can get back their money. To date, it has not occurred. And clearly it's action like these that destroy community and police relations. On the civil line, that see is that the force is working to correct that. It's just that things at the state and government level move a bit slower. So it might seem as if nothing is being done. But truth be told, there are high-profile cases before the court with members of the force, and they are investigating high-profile members of the force as we speak. The force is always doing that. But I'm going to point this out. Only with a combined effort of the people and the security forces can crime and violence be reduced. Now, if you're new to the channel, it's a pass through, subscribe icon, then the bell icon, and of course put it on all, and this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content. Now, until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours is, of course, for you to live, love, and prosper, and for you to stay tuned.